Us and the Leafs closed it out last night against Boston with, well, it was what it was. My buddy Brian, massive Leaf fan, Brian Beleafs, joins us on the phone. He does a comic strip every single Leafs game, puts it in a book at the end of the year, and then he sells it, and you can buy it. It's great for any Leafs fan. And Brian, buddy, that was not what I wanted to see last night.
The wheels really fell off in the second period, Fred. I don't know what to say. Samsonov had one of his worst performances in the blue and white. After the game, we found out he's been a little bit under the weather, but there was some very uncharacteristic goals. A couple goals beating him from out at the blue line, and then we also had some poor performances from the blue line last night as well. So it was a tough game for the back end of the Leafs, and they got burned by a relentless Boston Bruins team.
So do you think the Bruins came in because of that, 3-game skid, and they're like, it stops today, gentlemen?
Yeah, I do think that they came in very focused, and I think the Leafs mainly matched that intensity in the first period. I think the first period was, Boston probably held the most of the play, but it was a pretty close thing, and the Leafs kept it within striking distance going into the third period, only down 1 goal, but things really fell apart. I think they got that Calle Yarncroc goal, brought things back within 1. Then Bunting got involved in some fisticuffs behind the net, and the Leafs weren't able to ride any momentum from the goal. Boston went right down the ice and scored that bad floater goal I'm mentioning from the blue line during a 4-on-4, and the Leafs could not recover.
So, is there a problem with the Leafs goaltending? Because I was seeing articles about what do the Leafs need to do with handling this Matt Murray situation.
Whenever the Leafs win a game against one of the top contenders, there's always an asterisk by why it doesn't count for why the Leafs are a good team. And when they do lose, it all of a sudden causes this big hysteria across the city where we have to look at every piece of the Leafs and why it's broken and why we have to fix it. We must trade for another man. But I think in this case, the Leafs are down Austin Matthews. They definitely had a bad performance last night. I don't think we have to look into it much beyond that. Is there another option that you can get beyond Matt Murray? If you want to improve left wing, if you want to improve defense, there is no way there's going to be any money for a goaltender. So if these goalies can't figure it out, I think the Leafs are sunk. But I do believe one of these guys is going to be able to pull it off in the playoffs.
So, do you see anything happening during the All-Star break? Will there be some closed-door deals or meetings that we're going to find out about later on?
You never find out about them, but definitely people are going to be together. I think some of these GMs probably have drinks together in the evenings, and maybe things get a little bit looser once you're seeing people face to face. So hopefully we do see some of this lubricating some movement going forward. And I would really love to see the Leafs get ahead of the trade market here and pull off this trade sooner than later so we can really meld with our final lineup going into the playoffs.
Wouldn't it be wild if some clutch moves for the Leafs happened over a frosty glass of 40 Creek?
Kyle Dubas getting it done in Florida on the beach over some 40 Creek?
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.